Where do I begin with this? I just want to say, if I could have a moment of your time, this is something incredibly important to me. This is, I will be protesting. I will be joining in the global strike from today through the 28th, and I am begging you to do the same. It is, frankly, the bare minimum. It's like below the bare minimum. It's so simple. It's so little. I I won't be online. I won't be engaging in content that's not about Palestine, about Palestinians. I will be using this time to uplift Palestinian voices, and I am begging you to do the same. It's so simple. The most they've asked us to do is not buy stuff and not forget them. Is that so hard? I I want to ask you to do the same. And those of you, to my mutuals with followings, I beg you to use this time to uplift the voices of those who are frankly unheard. Take this time to do it. I it's important, and I'm so happy to be seeing it. I've been seeing it all over my feed. I'm very happy with a large number of the people I follow. I'm glad we see it. I'm glad that we're having the discussion. But at the same time, I want to talk about something. And this doesn't exist with my mutuals from like YouTube. And I can see a very clear reason why, and I'm going to speak to that. But this is kind of a message to the VTuber community. And I can more specifically speak to Toon VTuber, Furry VTuber. That's what I know. That's the space I'm in. That's the people I know. I am. I'm a little disgusted. Do we have a line? Do we have a bar? Do we have a point where we say enough is enough? We can't get creeps out of the community. We can't say stuff about nothing. We're too busy. I believe a big part of this is that primarily a lot of these VTuber spaces start as social spheres where this is your personal social media and your friends hanging out with friends. So we have a hard time making rules, making regulations, making what is a business, and we're having a hard time regulating ourselves. But is there a line anywhere? And I feel like we should understand, I know we should. No, I know we should understand marginalization a little better than this. And we can't just always have fun. It can't be ooh woo all the time. Sometimes stuff gets serious, and that's one of these times. If you've ever been a person that sat and thought to yourself, yeah, I'd do something during the Holocaust. I'd do something, while we killed and displaced millions of Native Americans. I'd do something when insert atrocity would happen. And you haven't done the bare minimum now, which is just basic uplifting voices. Retweet a thing. Is that so hard? I am, and I said there are specific reasons as to why my YouTube mutuals looks different than my VTuber mutuals. And frankly, marginalized people always uplift marginalized people. My YouTube mutuals, it's a lot of people of color. It's a lot of black folks. It's a lot of people who understand marginalization. And when I look at my VTuber side, I see a lot of, frankly, white people saying nothing. That has been our history for so long, and it will continue to be our history. Do something. Like something. It's not that hard. I promise it's not. And I know it's not fun, but damn, is it that hard? I hope no one ever has to stand up for your rights. I hope no one, you never need anyone to stand up for your rights, because if this isn't enough, what will be? Where's your line? At what point do you say, I'll at least say something? We do all these dono streams and we do all these dono collabs, and you put your followers' money towards something and you feel good about it, but you won't even take the time to say something about an atrocity happening in front of all of us. I think it's time that we grow a backbone as a community. The VTuber community, we could do better. We could do so much better. And like I said, marginalized voices uplift marginalized voices. The most popular VTubers out there are largely cis and white and do not understand marginalization as deeply. And I can tell it in a lot of posts about stuff that are like, oh, I don't want to talk about hard things. And I understand we've got our own beasts to battle. Oh boy, do I understand it deeply. But this is something important. And I speak so passionately because it's just important to me. Please speak up for those who cannot speak up for themselves. And I, like everybody else, when I think about, I do like everyone who makes a channel, everybody who starts streaming, everybody who does these things, and I sit and I think about, when I grow big, the exciting things I'll be able to do. But when I think about it, when I'm fantasizing about the future, I don't think about the money I have. I don't think about the connections I'll make. I don't think about meeting the biggest VTubers and YouTube stars around. Now I do think sometimes about like the community I'll build and like the people who will be excited to see the things that I make. That would be fun. But what I really do think about, what I fantasize about so frequently, is being able to uplift these topics, uplift statements, uplift important discussions. I and I it bothers me deeply that people aren't even interested in having the conversation because it's just too uncomfortable. It's not fun. I mean, it's just, if this isn't enough, what will be? Like, where's your line? I don't necessarily want to guilt people, but if you don't care, I maybe want you to feel bad. Do something. Do something. I think that's all I have to say. Thank you for letting me get on my soapbox. I will be using this next week to uplift voices. I will be back online doing my usual thing later. But this is an important time. It really is. It really is. Please do something. Thank you.